How to file an amended tax return. Of course, everyone wants their original tax return to be perfect, but sometimes you receive data that changes the return after you have filed. Or maybe you made a mistake, maybe your tax preparer did, maybe you falsely reported income on your return and realize you could be caught. What do? File an amended return. This is Dave Horwedel, enrolled agent and CEO of Torchlight Tax. An amended return is done to correct or make changes to an original tax return. If you made a mistake in your filing status or failed to take a deduction or apply for a credit, you can file an amended return. One client filed an amended return to change his filing status to married filing jointly and received a substantial refund. Another had done an earlier year tax return, but neither the client nor her tax preparer had realized that paying her son's college tuition the year before made her eligible for a $2,500 education credit. By filing the amended return in a timely fashion, she was able to get that $2,500 refund check due to the education credit she was entitled to. How do you file your amended return? Most amended tax returns can and should be filed electronically. If for some reason this cannot be done, then it is acceptable to file a 1040X on paper. You need not file an amended return to correct math errors because the IRS automatically makes those changes for you. Also, sometimes you will get a letter from the IRS making corrections in your return and asking you if you agree or not. If you agree, there is no reason to amend your return. Maybe when you filed a return, you had not included one W-2. If you realize the IRS is correct, there is no reason to do anything but check that you agree, sign it, and return it. Sometimes these letters may show a valid error you made, but also may have errors in the calculation. An example of it might be a Form 1099-S that showed you had sold a piece of real estate for $350,000 and added tax on the $350,000 income. In this example, you did sell a house for $350,000, but the purchase price, etc., have not been taken off. Maybe your taxable profit was only $30,000. Thus, you would disagree with the assessment. A tax on $350,000 income is a lot more than the tax on $30,000. The IRS does not usually require you file an amendment in situations like this. You will be told where to send your notice if you disagree with the IRS assessment. In many cases, you do not need to file an amended return, but you do need to respond to the letter and do the calculation of what the actual tax owed is. The notice will usually tell you what to do. If you understand the notice and are confident you can reply correctly, you can do it yourself. If you are confused by the notice, you are welcome to call Torchlight Tax at 877-758-7797 for a free consultation, or email us at info@torchlighttax.com. Most taxpayers feel more comfortable with a real tax professional, like those at Torchlight Tax, responding to the IRS for them. We are glad to do so. Also, you need to correctly evaluate the return and the preparer. If the person doing the return did not know what he was doing, you should get someone else to do the amendment. If you were that person, the same applies. It has been said that knowing when you don't know is a point of wisdom. If you are amending more than one tax return by paper, prepare a 1040X for each return and mail them to the IRS in separate envelopes. Note the tax year of the return you are amending at the top of Form 1040X. Do not try to save stamp money by putting multiple forms in one envelope. One form might be totally overlooked when the envelope is opened. This is not theoretical. It has happened. The IRS specifically has asked for 1 year return per envelope. If you are filing an amended tax return to claim an additional refund, wait until you have received your original tax refund before filing Form 1040X. You may cash your original refund check while waiting for the additional refund. If you owe additional taxes with Form 1040X, file it and pay the tax as soon as possible to minimize interest and penalties. Generally, to get a refund, you must file Form 1040X within 3 years from the date you filed your original tax return or within 2 years of the date you paid the tax, whichever is later. Special rules may apply to certain claims. You can find these rules on the 1040X instructions, or you can take advantage of your free consultation with Torchlight Tax. Also, if you have a tax bill that you simply cannot pay, contact us for a free consultation. The settlement of IRS debt is one of our specialties. You can track the status of your amended tax return for the current year on the IRS site. I recommend keeping a copy of your amended return or returns and checking the IRS site at least 3 weeks after filing using the Where's My Amended Return tool on the IRS website. Tax law and regulations can be a complicated labyrinth to the regular taxpayer. You may plug away for hours only to find yourself at a dead end. It may be wise to get an expert's assistance. Maybe you are going to have a substantial tax liability and an enrolled agent can get it reduced by an offer in compromise. Perhaps you have a debt you cannot pay and an enrolled agent can get it relegated to uncollectible status. Perhaps the income the debt is based on is bogus and is not taxable income at all, and thus the debt is invalidated. There are many scenarios that require expert skill. One of my clients, for example, was not getting the full advantage of his deductions because he was subject to the alternative minimum tax. One of his deductions was for state income tax. In amending his return, I had him not take that deduction as it did not reduce his tax bill. Next year, when he gets a substantial state refund, it will not be taxable income. Had I taken the deduction, it would have been taxable income, and he would have paid thousands of dollars on it in taxes the next year. Filing an amended return may be an aggravating experience to many a taxpayer. Sometimes it may result in substantial savings. If you feel confident in your tax expertise, you are welcome to go it alone. However, I do not generally recommend this. Instead, here's what you do. Call us for your free consultation at 877-758-7797 or email us at info@torchlighttax.com. One of our enrolled agents will review your situation and recommend solutions based on this. You can still go it alone, but chances are our expertise will save you money and worry. Our fees are a bargain compared to the money and aggravation you save. If you enjoyed this video, please like it, share it, and subscribe to our YouTube channel so you can be notified when we release new videos. Thanks for watching.